it out now. Funk soul brother, right about now. Funk soul brother, check it out now. Hey, hey, funk soul brother, right about, hey, hey, it's out now. Hey, the funk soul brother, check it. What's going on, everybody? Let me get this into the chat. Let me get this into the chat. These damn robots is targeting me. Oh, I got something for y'all. That's the next stage of the business is the robots. I got something for the robots because I'm about to build something on y'all. Y'all don't even know. Oh, we're about to build some services up in here, up in here, up in here. What's going on, everyone? Give me one moment, please. We're about to get into some real. Because I feel blessed today. Very blessed. Very, very blessed. I am growing as an individual, growing as a businessman daily. Because especially in a pandemic, man. No, y'all can't see my screen yet. I am just getting things in the Discord. Because that is, it's tribe things, tribe type teams. Let me see. I got. I'll just copy it from up here. Oh, that's all I did? Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm just going to keep it simple. Going live. I am not spelling jack as always. Going live. There we go. And then I'm going to need a notes section. Notes. And the big notes. I know one of the major things that I got to cover today is decentralization. Program. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Development. Yeah. Development, decentralization. That works for me. Development, decentralization. Project. Because that's really all these are. This is just really, that's all this is a project. Because it's an idea till we get it working and it's functional. All right, there we go. All right, everyone, let me get the screen where I need it. Make sure it's live and y'all can see it. Hey, everybody, welcome to Toxic Hustle Live. CryptoPlunder, ToxicThoughts. I am still planning for this crypto winter. I know we're about to have a bull run. I already know the news. I'm already starting to see it. I believe we're going to be bouncing around for a little bit while people are accumulating. Yeah, so we're going to see the news and see that happening. I'm going to start now adjusting to a shorter format. We'll see how fast we get through this. I do want this to be shorter than any of the other videos you've had to tolerate my ramblings through. But I really was kind of just thinking out loud. I needed to kind of get a strategy together and talking through things, especially knowing that y'all are listening. Talking through things is helping. Helping a lot, in fact, because I now have to think my strategy in not just can I scale for myself, which I've always thought that way, but as I'm executing it now, I'm thinking of the scalability not just for myself, but look, if I can teach y'all how I'm doing what I'm doing, there is a selfish and not selfish reason. I believe that we're not going to have jobs. So, all right, I'm a web developer. How did I become a web developer? I figured out that as a web designer, I wasn't going to be able to make money anymore because the bank wanted me to code. I didn't understand code. So I was like, well, either I'm going to be an artist and really be a starving artist, or I'm going to have to pivot into this programming thing. So I started doing that. Luckily, there was a company that was working with Dreamweaver, and that company created a way for you to take Dreamweaver and begin building applications and building in PHP. And then I could start to understand PHP because something would structure the code. Then I can look at what I said. It was like, here's a visual thing I wanted to do, and I'll drag this stuff out, and then it'll print out the code, and I'll look at it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it means. Oh, that's how that happens. Okay, so it's a kind of a visual way to get your ideas in order, and then you can look at the code later and see what's actually happening in the back end. Now, as I started working with Dreamweaver, I saw Adobe pulling away from that direction of development and staying with the artist, which I understand that's where they came from. So I couldn't keep working like that. But then WordPress started getting better with templates. So again, like I'm saying, as a business, right? Let me just pull up a new window because I want to jump into this really fast. I just want to show you because I know a lot of us are struggling to figure out hustles to make money today. And I'm moving into another hustle. But I can give you one that still works, right? It still works. But it's drying up. But there's a pivot. I'll explain. All right. So there's the web development hustle. Right now, to get a website up, there's a few things that you need, right? So I actually have this in one of my projects. In fact, let's go there. Give me a second. Let's open up this. And then let's just jump right on to this. Okay. On my screen, and let me just make sure. Yeah, I am running. All right. And let me go over to 1 second. Let me just make sure my other screen is running. Where are you? There you are. Boom. That way, at least I can see. Okay, here we go. So let's say you've got WordPress, right? And you've got your server to have WordPress. So if I'm developing and I'm creating some type of application, I'm trying to build something, right? I'm going to start with my server. So that'll be Amazon AWS. From there, I'm going to be looking at what do I have to put on that server to make it run so that I can be able to have a user use it. Well, then I'm going to need something like PHP, that's the programming language, and MySQL, which will be the database. That's how you store data. PHP is how you can start programming stuff on top of that server. Now, as I told y'all before, a server is nothing more than a machine that has Apache, which is an open source piece of software, MySQL, another open source piece of software, and then some other stuff that you configure together. And once you get all that together, you now have the ability to install PHP, install MySQL, and then you'll then install WordPress, right? WordPress you can download for free. Once you install WordPress, that's your content management system. So now you can say that you work with content management systems. With that, you can get templates and themes, and those templates and themes will give you your whatever site you want to make. And I'll show you a couple of those. Then that allows you to have your users log in to whatever that is. And from there, you can have, if you needed to, you can hook it into some type of blockchain or API. And then that's your entire site, for the most part, built out. Right? That's how you build an application. So this morning, I thought about that and I was like, well, that's interesting, right? That's interesting how we have to build it this way. And I can show you, again, once you get WordPress, .org, right? Which, when you use Lightsail, this is already installed, right? So it's really just learning WordPress And once you learn WordPress, you then can go to a place like Theme Forest, right? You go to Theme Forest, you go to WordPress, and then you see where it says popular items, right? Click on popular items, boom, because tragic. See, I'm in here. And then you basically have this site. You got these templates, right? What I like doing is I will, where is it? Because you can go to popular items. I'm going to go to, like, if you want to do a blog or a magazine, creative, corporate, whatever. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. So let's say if I want to do a some type of entertainment website, and I want to do something for a company like a restaurant, right? Okay, there we go. So I want to do I want to get a restaurant client. Well, now I have this WordPress theme, and I can build out their site for them, right? Based off of this template, so you can get a live preview of it. And there you go, right? You see the template. They have different styles. Let's launch this one. So now you have a different template style. So if you got, if a restaurant, let me close this out of the way. So if a restaurant needed some type of, you could just use this and swap out their images, get the pictures taken, and swap out their template. Put this up, swap out their images, and now you have their website. So you could do this for your clients. Spin up a server, spin up some type of web server, install WordPress, grab some type of template, take the pictures, get everything looking good, swap out all the images from it so it looks like them, then boom, you're paid. You get half up front, half when it's finished. Now, it is a slow process. Always working with clients, it's always going to be a slow process. But if you can scale it, well, then it works out for you. So I'm giving you a business. I'm giving you a business because that's the business I'm in. What I'm trying to do is I'm figuring out the scaling portion of it, right? That's currently my major contribution to what I'm trying to do is create some type of marketplace to scale out my application to work for multiple people. How do I get what I'm building to work for other people? Right? So let's see. I'm going to close this out. So instead of building what I just gave you and showed you, instead of building all of that in this long chain, what I thought of this morning was, wait a minute, all of that really gets built out in just a few steps on the blockchain when you begin to understand what it is. It's all of these, but most of it is encapsulated right into your wallet. The database is the blockchain. That's what it is. It's the database. The miners, staking, everything that we're thinking about with cryptocurrencies, when people think of it just on that side of the business, which is how people thought about the internet when it first started. And the people like Mark Cuban, who's again investing into this new thing, nobody's catching why he's investing. It's coming right back. What he's realizing is this huge, inefficient stack is gone. This is all of this in one place. And then now we're getting with Ethereum, you're getting able to build on top of it. There's your application. That is Uniswap. That is PancakeSwap. That's any exchange, decentralized exchange sitting on a decentralized app. A dApp. dApps. Dapping it up. How we talk about giving out each other high fives, or how we clasp hands in friendship, right? Dap. So we're going to dap it up differently, though. Because crypto winter is coming. We're going to get real exuberant. We're going to be really happy. Believe you me, I've been there. And we're starting to see green into that situation happening. We're beginning to see green because people, and we're pulling up on the chart. We're now seemingly heading into positive territory. I know what's coming now. I know where it heads to. I've already told you. I see 100K. 172 is basically my estimate, but I think it may go down 15%. I'm gonna do a check on that. And that'll let us know if we're seeing decreasing gains every cycle. And if we are seeing decreasing gains, then we can pretty much map out that there would be another decrease. If there isn't, then great. It stays at 20 or it goes above 20. Awesome. If it doesn't and it goes lower, then we know every cycle we'll see a bit of a decrease in gains. And then it's really looking at what architecture, infrastructure is the way to build your business. We can't get cute with this, right? There's only going to be really one backbone to the next internet. There will be one winner. There'll be a number one and a number two. Right now, everybody's clamoring for it. And as a business, now I'm looking at it from a different perspective because I'm not looking at it as an investor. Not in the slightest. And now that I'm not, I'm narrowing my window down on what I'm buying into. What do I want long term? I want my musical geniuses. Discord link is in the description. I'm in the cash lane room there, and I thank MG the Future for allowing me to have a space to speak, man. I appreciate it. You know, I don't take this lightly. There's a responsibility, right? We can all run into this like I did the last time. I ran into it like, holy crap, this is going to go up for infinity. And then I had nothing when that next cycle went through. And then I turned around looking for my jobs, and there was no jobs still. That web development cycle is ending because that infrastructure is too expensive. And I saw it this morning paying my AWS bill. Paid over $100 to run an 8 gigabyte machine. $40 for an 8 gigabyte machine. That's a Raspberry Pi. That's $70 one-time payment. Now, if you're telling me I can figure out a way to put that on the blockchain and I can decentralize my own architecture, come on. Of course I'm going to invest into that because I'm tired of paying $100 for some shit that I'm seeing that can be cheaper. Why are they playing with me? Why are they playing with our pockets? But that also means we've got to think in a decentralized way. What are dApps? Decentralized apps. That means that's the next thing. If you're already knowing that, okay, I want to be an app developer. All right, go to your Amazon go to your Amazon, go to your Google Play Store, go to your Apple Store. Look at how many apps are there and ask yourself, are you going to be successful in a crowded market? Let's put it on the street. If everybody has the same grade of stuff and then you have to get better grades and stuff, it's only the grade of your stuff that's going to get you there, right? It isn't going to be everything else. You're flooded. Or you're going to have to get something brand new or be in a new zone. Be where your enemy is not. The art of war. Sun Tzu. I'm going to be where my enemy is not. They're not on the blockchain. It's a lot of extra work. But I also understand, and what my talk is about today is a strategy of how do we program without programming. Because what we already know in business right now, there is no question. You can go on Google and look up. Let's do that. Let's do it together right now, right? Because I'm going to show you something. Because we're going to talk about Web 3.0. The main course of this is Web 3.0 and what it really means. What we're dealing with is we're going into a DApp economy, decentralized applications, right? DApps in the news. Everybody's raising money to get into this business, JavaScript-like dApps, right? But the biggest thing that's happening, let's not even deal with decentralization yet, okay? Let's not deal there because that would be short-term focus for us. We're not supposed to be just looking short-term. We've got to look at what's happening in the industry and asking, do we have a way to leapfrog industry and make revenue outside of the norms because we know we're hedging our bet on something that's already changing. So what's happening in the regular programming world? Well, the regular programming world, development's falling away, right? So I'm going to open a new window and I'm going to drag it out. And I'm going to say low code, no code. Low code, no code, right? Hold on, let me see what it was. Damn, people the damn apps bothering me on my phone. Low code, no code, right? Let's go into the news. Now, everybody, Azure, is now coming up with ways for GPT-3. Now, if you don't know what GPT-3 is, that is, again, Elon Musk. So anything Elon touches, you've got to look into it. Everything that man is touching, look into it. Don't play with not knowing whom is in control of the leading technologies, or at least has his finger in them. This is the man that created PayPal and helped with the hooks of the back end to create a financial payment system. So understand, when he's playing with Doge and playing, this is not a new game for him. And I'm only now getting it. Remember, he played with the PayPal idea. So with him back in Doge, backing it, it also means he's making a play to create another PayPal. I got you, Elon. Not only that, the only people allowed to really mess with GPT-3, which Elon helped create, it's an artificial intelligence software, quote unquote, that's so scary now that it's in version 3. It's the one that's helping do all these deep fakes where you're doing the face swaps. That was level 2. This is level 3. So scary, they've locked it behind Microsoft walls. And now Microsoft is using it in which you tell it what you want and it begins writing out the code for you. Are developers going to lose their job? Could I now be beginning to build applications faster? Remember, I showed you low code, no code, which again is a thought process of application development, is already making its tentacles in Microsoft. They're not dumb. Microsoft has flow.microsoft.com. And I've been studying this for a year. I was actually working on this for my last client, which is in my CV on my LinkedIn, if you want to know who my last client was, besides Toxic Hustle, right? So again, they've got a desktop automation software. They've got cloud robotic automation, which is, like I told you before, those are connectors connecting to APIs, which is the back-end data structure of the internet now, is APIs. Those are now decentralized for dApps and decentralized apps. You can be APIs. Remember, I've been saying about oracles, why I'm looking at any Oracle-based, data-based system, because I'm looking for how do I store my data, because these automatic systems are getting ready to get created, right? You're no longer going to be doing programming from a... Why repeat the use of code over and over? Create a modular approach. Create a modular approach to building a flow business, a flow-based programming approach. And that's what this is. And that's where we're heading towards. So that means less development. And as AI can now program, they already have something. And it was a demonstration of GPT-3, right? GPT-3. And it was coding. Coding. Let me see. Here we go. And this is from July 30th, 2020. Code 10 times faster with this crazy new AI tool. Okay, this was August 2020. All right, so this is after. All right, this is an hour. I don't want to. No. We're not going to do that. Let's see if we can just get. I'll skim through the video. I'll make sure my sound is off, because I'm sure it's going to be some damn commercial. All right, there we go. And let's just see. Here. Install OpenAI, whatever. Okay, let's see if this. Or maybe this. But this is not the one I'm looking for, but you can, I'll dig deeper and start looking into this because I want to start figuring this out as well. But let's actually look at, I want to look at this right here because we'll just deal with what's happening right now. So Azure is the hosting platform or the code-based platform for Microsoft. Right? So Azure is to AWS, right? Amazon Web Services. The new CEO of Amazon is the guy that built that out. Made Bezos a ton of money because now they didn't have to keep selling. They could sell to the business. And now they were backing up trucks to businesses to get their data, right? This is the guy that did that. AWS trucks, right? Data. Hold on, data trucks. Let's not be cute. Let's make sure we're actually specific in our. There we go. See, these are the Amazon Web Services trucks. They were gonna back the truck up. Hey, we can take 100 petabytes of your data. We'll back that truck on up and get it right out of there. All the developers lost their jobs after that. When they're just backing up to grab all that and said we'll host it all in the cloud and help you get there, done deal. See, I'm seeing the consolidation. The same consolidation I saw in the music industry, I'm also watching it happen in the tech industry. And I've had to make certain strategic pivots every single time, but I've been silent about them. I've been working. And sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But as I'm building out a business, I can't afford for people to not actually understand what's coming, because if I'm able to get clientele, and if I'm able to scale that clientele, then I'll have work. And then if you're able to work like me, then we have work. And then I'm able to scale that work out. So it has a good intention and selfish intention. Now we can take US dollar, right? Or we can take crypto dollar. It's really up to us on how we want to deal with projects. But that's how I've been thinking about how do we grow. And I do say we. Like, not me. I have to start changing my thought process about what this is, because I believe we're going into a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization structure. And I'm going to show you in the news where even, I think it's Mark Cuban, has said something that, hey, this is about to happen. And it has happened already, and that's why he's so excited. And I'm watching what moves he's making and seeing he sees what I see. So I'm watching his maneuvers and why he and Elon are double teaming on Doge. I understand it now. And he understands Elon, and they're both basically getting ready to use all the other cryptocurrencies that their infrastructure-based companies, again, understand the world that Elon comes from is banking. He understands the infrastructure that it needs to be able to get a PayPal running efficiently. Mark Cuban, audio networks, video. He understands that. He understands the interlinking network hooks necessary to make that function. And now it's all software because you don't need the underlying layer anymore. It's all data now. Your bits, how we encrypt our audio now, it's all bits. So functionally, the infrastructure of the internet has already laid the architecture they need to pivot to high scale, broad, dynamically broadband data driven businesses. Do you not think that Elon wants you to have quote unquote a Dogecoin? Now I might actually start investing in Doge. I'm seeing a whole nother hustle. See, if they both piggyback on this together, they would have the infrastructure. If Elon puts this in every car, like a hub, a box, a miner in every freaking vehicle plugged to every house that has his solar cells, that has his oh shit, Elon, I got you. Oh, that's a slick bastard. Holy shit. Words connect. We just went over videos. I'm not doing it again. I'm sorry. That's where the 5 hours come from. The 5 hours come from those, but that's the structure, right? So he could basically, that's how you build mining equipment. All you need is a board, a single board placed in his vehicle, plugged up to a wall, right? He got solar panels on the ceiling, generating energy. What did he just do to Bitcoin, right? Right? All he has to do is make Doge scarce. Have a burn. I get it. All right, so that's another hustle. That was just on the fly. I did not mean to go there. I was just thinking out loud, and that one just struck. I now have to think about that hustle play that they're making and see what exactly that Mark Cuban is investing in. That was on the fly, guys. Sorry. That's the ADD thing, and it pivots really fast. But there you go. That's why I have to record these things now. All right, so we're gonna move on. So programming's getting ready to come to the natural landscape of developing, where AI and low code and no code mix with an AI that can write code for you. There's videos for it, and I'll have to get it and put it in the Discord. I'll do it later. I'll put a note because I will forget. So let me just put a note in here that says placeholder, right? And then I need a video of AI coding via voice, via natural language. Yeah, natural language. Right? Yeah. That's what we have to do. Right? So I'll leave that note for myself that I'll put a video for AI coding via natural language. Natural language is you just say, hey, give me a page designed like Google search engine. And then it goes and it does it. It begins coding it up and putting some of the functionality in it. And as it looks at the code and structurally sees what happens as it's working through it. So again, if you hook it to a robot and it does process automation and walks through the functionality of it, you then could write the code to rebuild it, reverse engineer it. So you don't think a bunch of applications are about to be reverse engineered and put on the blockchain in fast fashion? And the companies that could come up with that, right? So right now, I'm looking at, wait a minute, I want cheap data. And it's cheap. If I'm on AWS, right? No, don't do that. Just a new tab. AWS pricing. Right? or not even AWS, sorry, light sale pricing. That's the easy way to get your websites up. Like I said, I always want to make sure I give you any type of value for your businesses, because I don't think about us as just being worker bees or just throwing crypto, like buying all this damn crypto that we don't know what the hell we're buying. Right? I want to understand the underlying value of the proposition of the fact that a Raspberry Pi is 8 gigabytes. Period, point blank. It has 4 cores, and I can put as much SSD as I want on that. So I could put a terabyte SSD on that, and then my transfer data would just be what I'm paying for on the blockchain. If I could get an application on it. And that is, notice what I'm saying, $40 for this? $75 one-time payment on a Raspberry Pi. Do y'all see what I'm seeing now, right? Why I'm talking the way now I'm ready. I'm beginning to understand. And what I can put on a Raspberry Pi is Node.js, which builds applications. Now, building would then have to change because I don't want to write code. Sorry, I already know writing code's a dummy mission. And I'm not going to start learning something that's already being phased out. I just showed you it is. I'm going to be able to say, rebuild this app over here. And I want to, and here's where the GitHub repository is, but optimize it like this, this, and this, and it's going to do that. Hey, keep an eye on all the security patches on any derivatives of this and make sure to repatch yourself based off of any patches they've made. Me, George Jetson. I remember that damn thing. See, nobody thinks that their cartoon life's gonna happen. And I'm gonna give you something that I've only been telling my family and friends. And that is Jetson theory. This is a Ty Durden thing. Shout out to my boy Ty. But this is mine, called Jetson theory, which is George Jetson. Right? And when he's at the computer. All right. So I want you to see what his life was. I want you to just kind of look at his life of his life. Right? And please understand that the hustle of this crap is this is what they told me when I was a kid. Wow. Okay. Was coming to my life. They told me that I would be in a big building, basically by myself, talking to a television screen. With a microphone, basically, you know, it's inside the computer. You can just talk, it hears you. And it's just me, eventually, once in a while, pushing a button. But for the most part, I'm just talking to a screen. And then as you see down here, my boss would, for the most part, be yelling at me through a screen. What's happening right now in our world? And isn't the AI controlling the business? You see, the reason why you see me the reason why you see how I structure my name as Chief Strategy Officer, though I started the corporation of Toxic Hustle, and I am, for the most part, the Chief Executive Officer, but I'm not programming it to be that way. I'm programming it where the CEO, that's the CEO. I'm no more than George Jetson for now. Until it really doesn't need me but to hear what I'm saying and pick up on my business tone. And I'll just be coding it through my words. Get it? I just got to get comfortable being able to think in program. I just got to get comfortable in understanding that I need cheap data then. How do I build out my apps if my apps are costing me over $100 damn, damn near $150 and going up? And that's just one of my other clients being on the server with me and like another practice site. Low res practice site. Over $100 and something. I'm like, yeah, I gotta pay that. To do business. This is the dummy mission we've been put on. And that dummy mission is about to be over with. And everybody's going to run into this world and then realize it's about to be phased right the hell on out. And then they're going to run to blockchain. And by the time they're doing that, you already know we'll be in the next cycle. They'll have to wait a whole nother dead cycle if we go there then, because we'll be programming our own apps by then. Now, let's get to that, right? I've already showed you low-code voice programming is coming. Microsoft has all that. I showed you Microsoft is heading up this whole new low-code, no-code thing with their Flow, Microsoft Flow. So we're going to get into what's happening right now, which is dApps, decentralized applications, could dominate the decentralized applications future. Guaranteed it's going to happen. Blockchain platform raises, this is people raising money, dominating. I'm not going to harp. I just want you to know the keywords. I just put in dApps, and I just needed you to see what Google's news is starting to tell me, right? Same thing for like blockchain applications. And just looking at the news, being able to see what's happening. This is how I start to scour and kind of get a survey of the land. Because what is Google telling me? What is it telling me? But I also have to program it a bit, which is setting up your news.google.com to care about certain things. News.google.com. And beginning to really go in here and start searching for headlines and start programming your algorithm to look for the same things that you're looking for over there. I do it on the app. I read on the app, I like things on the app, and I also share it with another AI called Flipboard. I'll show you that in a bit. And then that goes to another AI when we go to the news, because we will go into that. But this is important to start thinking about what blockchain means more than what the coin is, right? So look at the jobs that are increasing. I put blockchain jobs increasing. Yes, I am pushing it to tell me, and I'm catering it to tell me what I want to hear in news. But I also want to see if there's a temperature for that. See? Because it went to Coinbase. Do you think Coinbase knows what I just said to you is maybe a potential to happen? That the two people that know how to bring media as well as technology and a guy that's doing robotics can't use Doge to do... Yeah, man, this is going to be so kind of ugly. I got it. So anyway, blockchain jobs are going to be up. So regardless of anything, if nothing else you get out of me, out of life, is that potentially you can get into this blockchain industry because I'm doing it. And if I do get a job, yeah, I'm getting a higher end job. Because whoever's coming behind me isn't building it as if they were a CEO / chief strategy officer / chief technical officer or technology officer, right? CTO, chief. Or another chief financial officer that's doing something to earn interest for a company on blockchain and can do it strategically with limited risk, and businesses realizing they need that. And you mean we can take our money, a portion of our money, and you can manage it internally for us? You don't think those jobs are coming? If you put it on there, somebody will notify, especially LinkedIn. I'm giving you the game. I'm starting to already make my changes on my own LinkedIn portfolio. That's a resume. That is an online resume. Don't get that twisted. LinkedIn is the social network resume. You can post articles and news that are interesting there, and it will lead back to, especially if they have keywords like machine learning or decentralization. I'm going to have my robot in a minute, and I am getting my robot, and I'm going to start teaching people how to build their own. I'm going to get my robot to start collecting my data and posting it for me on multiple social networks on the things that I am interested in. And then that way, that it gets my keywords going for everything that I'm doing, not just as a business, but as a strategy officer. Doesn't the company need to be visible? I mean, how can I sell t-shirts if there's no visibility of the company? And then how can those t-shirts, how can I sell the digital versions of those shirts in world to really get the visible data on how well a shirt looks or not feels, but how a shirt looks. How is it performed? What's my hottest selling shirt? I have to now kind of do R&D. So I can test in world in different video games what shirts are hot and selling, and what does it cost me? But time. Maybe a little crypto, but if I'm staking it and earning it, well, now I have R&D. Before I start print, I can just do a quick layout on a 3D model, put it in world, test it in a shop, right? Virtually in some in-world place. And then I'll know which ones are selling. And then those are the shirts I'll now spend time making out of world, right? But they are making money in world already for it to generate income from me already. That's going to be the business. How do I store the data of my sales? There's my data. Now, can I build an application that gives me the data of my sales in multiple areas so I can now make a feasible choice of what things I want to sell out of world and as physical copies? Could I then now tie that to some other way of making an NFT to press out the physical content if you hold those physical contents in world long enough? In your wallet? You could get it printed to you? Could I then build value of my shirts because they're minting their own shirts? Then I'll get sales data and shipping data and all that. I don't need it on the front end. You see, I'm building a new business model on top of cheaper hardware, on top of a better, cheaper network. This is going to be the Internet of Things. Things can be the hubs. Things can be a VPN. Things can be internet, right? The 5G thing I put out the other day, which was like, I was freaking out. Because of how much 5G is going to be radiating everywhere. And I'm just like, well, I also got to be positive, right? I'm going to have to eat better. I'm going to have to eat healthier. I'm not going to be able to escape the radiation. I'm going to be submerged in the shit. No matter where I go. If my girl want to go on vacation, well, what choice do I got, right? All the ports have all this I want to make money type thing. And we're all going to be scrambled. So you're just going to have to be healthier. And you're going to have a stronger will with your melanin. Right? CMOS gel. That's my first thing that I'm starting to do with my health. And to start getting away from the foods that I've been currently eating that make me feel like crap right now. Plus, I got to start working out. I want to start working on my album. Again, now that I have a way to store data and start building my DApp, I'm building it for my content. And my content is I'm a music producer. But I want a music business, but I can't trust the label system, right? So then I have to build my own label system. And I did. I told you what it was already. I have an agency called CD Baby. I submit my album one damn time and I keep getting royalty checks. All I now need to do is keep growing my name. Done. That check goes to PayPal, right? From PayPal, you put that into your Coinbase. From Coinbase, you put it into the trading bot that I showed you, link in the description for the trading bot tutorial. Put it on your trading bot and let it earn a decent amount of interest. Link in the description to see the assets that are being traded by the trading bot that we built. So I really don't know what else I can tell you as far as being at least a financing record label. Like, that's it. Does my music go out someplace? Yes. Is it broadcasting? Yes. It's on Spotify. Am I getting royalties? Yes. Do I need the radio? Nope. Haven't needed for years. Now I just got to scale up my ish. I just didn't have something besides music. I don't want to keep cranking music all the damn time, and I had nothing to talk about. I've been silent for a couple of years because I've had nothing to talk about. I've been studying and researching. How am I going to survive the next 10 years? And now it's all coming together. Because the last year for me was, how do I build a way to scale up creation of video? How do I speed up video creation? This is part of it. Thank you, MG. Just broadcasting and just whatever it is. One take, Hove. Let's go. Well, for me, sometimes 2 takes. But just showing you how to do this business is me also solidifying it and saying, I'm calling my shot. Are you following this time? Because I'm showing you where it's going to go crazy in a second. Look, it's going to run. I don't care about the price of Bitcoin. Like, look, it's great. It's going to be good. 100 grand. Yay. That's not the important shite. It's the fact that this whole new decentralized business model is growing. And that your price to get on it and build full-fledged businesses will be lower. And what I'm building is a scalable marketplace. I know I have not done the presentation, but I'm still working this thing. And it's like, why show you a presentation of an opinion? Or, hey, this shit is running really fast. I'm just going to record it on the fly and kind of build it on the fly. And then as we get it built, then we'll do the presentation for all the other people that want to be convinced that this is the way to go. But I don't have time to really present this in a way that if you want to go this way, like, look, I'm going this way. And I'd rather just show you what I'm doing on the fly so that at least I'm showing you. And then when I kind of go in and out dark, I'll be in the Discord still. I'll just be in the computer area. I'll be over here. In the computer zone, as well as in our programming zone. What is it called? Coder Gang. I might actually be more in Coder Gang. I don't think I'm going to be talking as much in computer zone. I think I'm going to leave them to people that are talking about GPUs, CPUs for their computers for the music. I'm actually going to go in Coder Gang and start talking about this more, even the hardware. Because I'm coding on that hardware. So I'm going to move it here. So I'm just letting y'all know via this video. And I'll leave a note. We'll start talking more in the Coder Gang. Coder Gang. All right. All right. So, blockchain business ideas was another search thing that I did. Want exposure to Bitcoin. They're talking in a business fashion, but I really just wanted an overview to just see if people are, and then this is where it came up, right? Mark Cuban trumpets DAOs. Warren Buffett's Berkshire showed the way. I don't know what it means. I didn't really read it. I look at the titles just to see, again, a sense, a pulse. I just like to get a pulse of whatever data I'm giving Google, what is starting to give me back, and then just kind of seeing it and then curating on the back end and kind of like refining it with some of the news that I'd like and or share, that I click on, giving it the data pulse that I want, what I'm interested in. These clicks matter. Banking without banks, decentralized finance is coming. So again, it's a DApp, decentralized app, finance apps, right? So again, funding for you to be able to get into other things. The coins that you're interested in, that you're already making money in on your bot, I'm looking at how when these new decentralized finance swaps, atomic swaps and all that, and automated money Maker, AMM, something like that. I'm gonna have to look into those things, but on these other exchanges like PancakeSwap and Uniswap, there's ways for you to make money being liquidity providers, right? And that's literally what it is, liquidity providers. That once this starts going on the open market deeper, because the gas fees will be so much lower on these new exchanges and on these new platforms like Cardano, and or whenever ETH gets their thing going, it's going to lower down all those gas fees and things are going to get cheaper. That's going to allow, again, more business, more transactions. Transactions per second are important. I don't care what nobody says. I need to know my app is scalable. And I want to be able to put 1,000. Right now, I don't even have 1,000. Think about it this way. I don't have 1,000 people on my website yet. And already, I'm paying $40. What happens when I get like 1,000 people hitting that damn site? How much is that going to cost me, right? And a Raspberry Pi is still a Raspberry Pi, and the bandwidth is the bandwidth. I should just be paying for the bandwidth, not $40 a freaking month for a piece of hardware, virtual piece of hardware. Because it's not even a real piece of hardware. They're giving me a virtualization on a big-ass machine. A sub-virtualization. Right? So they've figured out a way to squeeze the most out of every piece of hardware they have. But we know we're not centralizing anymore. And while all these companies are running to centralize into these big cloud companies, these cloud companies are now stretching out their tendrils to decentralize. Amazon is starting to try to do it begrudgingly. But the Amazon Web Services guys know what he's doing. And people don't realize every AWS machine that you own will be a part of their virtual visual network. And you'll be making them tens of billions of dollars. Like we have been already. But the difference is that technology comes down. My zone was the understanding that if I built a computer in my house and the same computer with the same office suite, right? Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you had the whole office suite. So if I installed the office suite, the same office suite I had at the office, I have an office at my house? And then you tell me I can write off my house or a part of my house as a business expense on my personal taxes, right? Shout out to Quicken TurboTax for the no. Home and business. Once I realized I could write off my home as a business and I could start saying my company's name was Toxic Hustle, even if I didn't write it directly off. And then I made my business PayPal account at the time was another company name, and then I turned it to Toxic Hustle. And let Toxic Hustle be the lead as a media company, because media is where we're heading to. The gross national product of any country will be entertainment. Whether it be gaming, whether it be esports, whether it be drones flying in the air and drone racing, whether it be robot wars, cybernetic robot wars, in-world wars, in-world gaming wars, in-world gaming contest streams, right? In-world gaming contest streams and virtual concerts, virtual entertainment, virtual playgrounds, virtual sex dens. It's all coming. That's just the way this works. So I look at it and say, what is the business of the real world, of a fake world we already live in? We already lay on a construct of a reality, right? This is not the reality that it's supposed to be. It's the reality that it is because of conquest. Plain and simple. We know this. And I would get it. It's cool. Whatever. I ain't mad. I got you. Hey, how can I be mad at the hustle, right? You just got to see it and then pivot. I got the game, homie. Good looks. And I'm not doing it. See, can't target me. I ain't do nothing, bruh. I'm just sitting here trying to get my swag with it. That company over there is doing it. And you invested into that company. And I'm just waiting till it gets to Coinbase. Or I'm hearing the buzz is going to get to Coinbase. Or if it's not going to get to Coinbase, fine. What other exchange, Kucoin, link in the description, has some new assets popping up that might head over there. Can I put a robot on that one too, like the robot I got on Coinbase? And then I'm spying. I'm earning what I need. With every asset I purchase on, and I show you the low bits that I do in the videos that I do, how I make small percentages on it long term. And now I'm going to focus on making more crypto. Earn your crypto. I've told you last videos, last season, same shit. And I started it later in that year of the cycle when we were deep in the bull run, and I got scared. I was like, wait a minute, this is getting ready to crash. Holy crap. Yo, guys, this might not end well. I'm starting to look at the data from the last cycle. Oh, crap. I didn't realize this happened. I didn't realize it pumped all the way up like this and then just dies. And we wait. Well, that cycle of wait is basically, what are you programming now? What are you programming on top of what I just gave you? You got funding now. You got more funding. What are you doing? Who's showing up? What businesses are there? Do you think businesses are going to need websites? Like they've already needed websites? Like they need them now still, but now the data is different, right? The data is like this infinite blockchain of data. And people are just, it's everywhere. And people are making businesses on it. Like when I show you these sites I'm on and where we get our news from, that's all based on blockchain data now. So industries, news industries, media industries are now thriving on blockchain data and talking about it all the damn time. So it has a big, wide, broad gap of view. And we know it by look at how much money, the market cap, how much billions or trillions of dollars are in all the coins. On all these machines, and most of them are dumb. Generation 1.0 internet. Well, it has to get an upgrade. It's getting it now. And it has to serve websites. Businesses need it because now there's a necessity. Hey, this Amazon thing is stupid. This centralization thing is dumb. We need to decentralize. Now, let's get to Mark Cuban. DAOs will transform companies. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway embraced the core ideas behind the latest crypto trend decades ago. Mark Cuban sees decentralized autonomous organization, or DAOs, as disruptive. You damn right. I just told you. What is the biggest DAO on the planet? Well, who introduced DAOs? Ethereum. What is the current price tag on Ethereum? Give me one moment. Let me see if I can find that window. There we are. I'll hit refresh. $2,000. Let's actually click into it and see what its high was, period, right? In the last year worth of, give me a year's worth of data, and let's look at its peak. We were at around $4,182, and we're down at $2,812. Again, what am I telling you? What am I telling you? I'm telling you about putting applications up. Ethereum's value prop or value proposition is what? Being a DAO, the first of its kind, putting up smart contracts, the first kind of its kind. And that's why it's the #2 coin. And how much? This is hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions. Bitcoin, getting kind of smarter, is almost $1 trillion. This is up hundreds of billions. That's money. Period. It's fiat. It's digital versions of time software coding. This is the value of this code. Let's get back to the basics of what we're dealing with. What did I tell you a server was? I'll go back. Hold on. Where are it? I'm an idiot. right here. There we go. Right here. Got it. On my screen, if you can't see it, I have a screen up of basically what a server is to get a WordPress site up. Server/machine. That's your AWS. You'll get you do Lightsail. You'll get the machine. You'll get the PHP and the MySQL database. That's the database. That's the data, right? Then on there you put WordPress to get you a content management system, a way for you to fill data in an easy way without coding, which gives you a sort of app. It's a blog app. You can change that differently by using other kind of plugins and things of that nature to turn it to whatever you want. I have something like that, and I'll be talking about how to build minor WordPress apps. I'll be building that out because we still can make money in this world. And I still will be making money in this world, just different from my clients, right? Where we're talking about affiliate money, where I build a business and I put an affiliate network in it. And then this way, anybody who wants to make money selling the product on behalf of this client earns a percentage. That's what I'm working on, right? So then I'm going to be teaching this so that everybody can do that. That gives you your user login and a way for people to fill content. So you can actually start building communities this way, which you need communities to build apps, right? Not just on its own. And you need customers and all that. That's all community. Then you got your blockchain / your APIs to hook your data, do things with your data, and to do insights and hook it into robotics and automation platforms, all that stuff. So then that's your WordPress app. This I've condensed on the right side of the screen with some type of blockchain CMS. And then what you get out of it is this: when you install the wallet, I realized that's the server/machine. Right? Because you're spinning it up to download what? Bitcoin, all of the transactions. You're downloading the database so that you can become part of it if you want to mine it, which you have a user/wallet address, and you have to log in via however your means is. Which if you have the wallet, the MetaMask wallet, well, there's your login straight into your stuff. And then you just need to build an app. And how do we get to this easier? Honestly, the reason why I'm looking, and I'm still looking, is because this Wappler is where I'm going to be heading to. The software, I'm not affiliated with it. I'm not making any money from telling you this. I'm being honest of my approach. Pricing is around £39, right? Build monthly, or I'm going to do it monthly for now as I begin to, or you can do it yearly for what it costs there, right? I'm going to do it monthly for now and then try to figure out if I can go yearly with this idea. Again, I'm giving you a strategy because these are my thoughts. This is not even, I haven't executed on this. This is where I'm heading to. And as I'm working into this, I'm not going to be so focused on crypto unless it's into this zone. And y'all will at least understand that. And I'm not going to have as many people because I'm not chasing crypto. I'm chasing my business, right? So I'm the features, like you get a visual app designer. So in WordPress, right? Again, I want to show you the old hustle and kind of how I'm fleshing out my new one. I'm going to open a new window because I want a new idea of how to build apps and an old idea. All right. So with WordPress, I could use, actually what I'm doing, let's do that. Croc, C-R-O, Croc, O-Block, right? Croc-O-Block. Because I want you to have honest business ideas. This is an honest business idea. This is honestly what I'm working on. Okay? So with WordPress, once you get WordPress involved, so let me open up this too, and I need to open this upside on its own time. I want to duplicate this because I want this separate. I want to keep going back to this. It's important. I need this on its own screen. So again, server, PHP, MySQL, WordPress, your content management system, and I put /app. I'm going to show you right now how WordPress can be an app and how I'm building for customers, namely my lady and myself. I'm using this strategy to actually start working on Toxic Hustle. So this is how Toxic Hustle is actually being built. So, and not yet. This is not it. This is the, I need, here. So this is the old guard. I'm using now from that WordPress. So we're here. I'm now installing plugins in the content management system to now give me new ways to build an application, because I could not do it any other way. I could not get what I needed this way. I needed to be flexible, and I didn't want to, my customers aren't just, I have a restaurant and that's it. It's, I have this type of business and this type of business and this type of business, and I need a way to centralize that all. And there was just no way to do that with WordPress the way it is. I needed a more flexible way, and it took me another year to get there. And I thank all the guys on YouTube that I train in CryptoPlunder, right? So if you look for CryptoPlunder in YouTube, there's some amazing YouTubers. I'll show you, hold on, YouTube, and I'll show you, just go CryptoPlunder. And I will be doing some training on this too. But there's some guys out here, you can get a jump start. He's the main one, this CryptoPlunder, Living with Pixels. He does some good stuff. This guy does some stuff. But this here, WP Tutorials, he's the lead guy for CryptoPlunder to do training. So I would go with him because he will show you exactly what you need to see to build on it, and it's functionally easy. Plus, you do have CryptoPlunder itself. They're fragmented in how they do their training, and they do have him there. I just figure he builds whole scenes and everything in one go. You can follow him. He has and these guys are doing it too. Like this guy builds an entire real estate listing website. So if you got real estate listing sites you need to build out, this is going to be a way for you to do it. Now, what I'm beginning to understand is APIs, because I understand that that's important. APIs, grabbing data, storing data, using data. So this begins the process of getting and ingesting and building visible websites based off data. And now CryptoPlunder has this thing called Jet Engine, right? I shouldn't say now, they've had it. Jet Engine, you can create things called, what's in WordPress called custom post types. So if you wanted let's say if I wanted to build a real estate website, right? I would have real estate agents as a custom post type, and say the real estate listings or the places I wanted to list as a custom post type. Then I'd have a taxonomy, which is being able to group things into that post type. Like if I had it's like shoes or sneakers, I wanted to make a catalog for shoes or catalog for music. Producers, right? And I had a taxonomy of what kind of plugins they use. See? Taxonomy. Custom fields or custom areas I want them to fill out. Relationships, like this person is a producer, but they have this business. And options, being able to say this comes in wave format, this format, that format, that's good for shopping systems, right? So you can see with this, you can, like he said, the site says, develop listing items, have dynamic widgets. You can start building very dynamic websites with just this one product. And with this, you're also looking at other things that are here, like creating reviews, booking websites, appointments. So you can see, you can start building an application, especially when you have WooCommerce, which is the e-commerce side. That's where I showed a couple screenshots that I was able to hook into this to create my shopping system. Now I'm building something for a customer now, and I'm working through these design changes on the fly right now, because I'm noticing that I can actually start building more personalization into her business. Like she's going to be opening up a CMOS business. And from that CMOS page, well, I'll show everything afterwards. And then once I finish that up, that's my proof of concept. And then I'll build a course on how to kind of build another type of website, which I'll be building for another client, but I'll build that on the fly. And then that'll be the course. And then from that, once people have gone through that, I'm going to have actual physical courseware on Toxic Hustle. And as people go through the courseware, I'm going to be able to pretty much, if y'all are interested in working with me on projects, now I can actually scale out doing projects, because I can't scale out projects right now, right? So WordPress and learning kind of what I'm showing you here and what training I'm going to come into doing, I'm showing you where you can just go and learn. So you don't even have to wait on me. I showed you where to get it. What I'm only going to end up doing is coming up with a workflow for how I'm building out sites. Period. I'm just going to be building stuff and saying, this is where I'm doing it, this is how I'm doing it. And then this way you can follow the methodology. And if you need to build something, it would have basically those modules you could go back to see how to build those things again. And it's kind of repurposing, because what you're going to learn is businesses are creatures of habit, and they copy each other to infinitum. Oh, and it's the same thing with music, right? When you're a producer. Oh, I want to be like such and such. I want the music to be like so and so. Yo, give me a beat like da 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 da. Yo, I want my hook like such and such and such. Yo, make my filters. Yo, filter my sound so I got that effect like blah blah blah's voice, right? It's the same crap when you're in development. Same thing where it's like, hey, I want my website to be like this site, but that's a good thing now. Now I don't look at that as a negative. I'm like, well, good. Now I can say, give me 5 sites you like. Okay, those are the 5 sites you like. Now I can kind of match it up, build something out, and try to flesh something up fast as a prototype. But now even how I prototype is changing, and I've had to change because I'm now not prototyping a website. I have to think about, how am I reusing data first? How do I use data effectively? Because we're talking about not a website and I'm going to fill it with data. It's no, I have all this data and I'm building a site off of the data. So it's a data-driven concept. And then you also have to have a mobile-first concept, where you're looking at how you're putting out your stuff in mobile. So again, this is a quick way of the old way that I'm looking at the development based off of the old way it worked. And now I've got to figure out the APIs to hook into this data, user login, user submitted content for an app that hooks into a chain to store this data. Now that's a lot of lifting and is a lot of expense. And as I add more plugins to this, the weight of that expense gets heavy. Why not streamline this to I'm only focusing on the application stack? I've already got the engine. I've already got a database. I already have a user because there's a wallet. And now because of wallet, hold on. I didn't even put this yet. Because I have a wallet, I have e-commerce. I have to still actually put another plugin to get ecom. So I didn't put that in a chain, but there's like a chain of apps you've got to do. Plugins that you have to do to make it do all the things you want. And that gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And you have to get a bigger machine and a bigger machine to run all this weight. When now I have all this data and it's being spread across multiple machines. And then soon, all my application running will be spread across multiple machines. So really, where's my weight? I don't really have it. How fast is my app? As fast as your layer stack. And I only have one box on my stack, other than all of this I get from getting on blockchain. So when you think about blockchain, that's it. When you think about cryptocurrency, it's e-com revenue on top of a database because of a user who has a wallet on top of a machine/server. And that's all we're dealing with. I need to get another Bitcoin miner. That's server. It's a very narrow focused server right now. But those servers will not be as narrowly focused. Well, at least the applications on top of that narrow stack won't be. How do we use the infrastructure to do smarter things? Layer 2. Layer 2. Look at all these layers. The application starts here and gets heavy. The application starts here and is light because it's based off of this and what you need to do with this, which you can always cache. So how do we get it lightweight? How do we build lightweight now? Because I showed you the old way you can make money, and I'll still be making money this way, but I'm really focusing here because next year, this will get you jobs. This will also get you clients. And when I mean by jobs, I mean by clients, because we're going into a freelance gig economy. And I even showed you a site that's looking for freelancers, and it's an app on a blockchain. Okay? So we move our ideals that direction and start working with the stack. So how do I find a server that can let me do Node.js? Still working on that one. I told you this is an idea, but I'm close to, this is the stack I'm going to, and I'm going to begin to head this direction because I already have a Raspberry Pi and I already know I can build something on it, right? So Wappler, again, gives me a framework and a visual app designer, and I showed you that from this old stack, don't tell me how close that went though. T. CrocoBlock, sorry, I jumped. Under its products, it also does Style Manager, Grid Builder, and it works with, and this is big for WordPress, again, another heavy thing, which is template engine. You need visual, no, it's Elementor. Okay? So I need to put that on there too. So I will get that in a second because that, again, makes this thing heavier and heavier and heavier. So Elementor, let me go to their website and I'll close this out. I don't know why I just didn't do that. Yeah, you always got a sale. This is what Elementor is. This is a visual way for you to design. You drag things out, and it's a visual way of building your websites. So all of the websites you saw with templates and stuff like that, you can now, this, instead of me going to Template Monster like I showed you, I'm actually pulling away and just dealing with Elementor and dynamically building it with CrocoBlock and Croco Engine because they all work together. So now I can make menus, have the blog, products and WooCommerce for products, pop-ups that can happen, tables, right? And being able to make these boxes like this, grids, that can be product grids, car salesman. See, it's showing you what you can then build when you layer all these technologies together with this and this. You basically have a great web development business. And the industry is heading this direction. Get these sites up fast, and you're gonna get people that just want to get these sites up. But again, the expense is heavy. That's why I'm phasing out of this and saying, well, if I'm going here, and I didn't do this, so let's do that now. Let's drop this down further and disconnect it. Let's first let's disconnect this. Right, I'm disconnecting a couple lines here. If you're not able to see from my box, you'll be able to see that in the replay. But I have a flow, and in here we have this, and I say app, kinda, because what we really then need, and I'm just going to duplicate this box here to make my life easy, and put that up here. What I'm also going to say is you need plugins. Oh, jeez, I can't spell. plugins, right? / templates. That makes WordPress really heavy because you can have a ton of plugins in here. And again, that gives you user contributed content. This is, again, being able to build communities. One of the things I was talking about, I was working on a presentation, but instead of now doing this presentation, I'm seeing the industry change in crypto to being able to see businesses in crypto starting now. And I've been pivoting into that immediately. And that's what I'm showing here, is how the application stack has changed and what it means to businesses in the future, and why this is important that we not look at Bitcoin or blockchain, not Bitcoin, but mostly blockchain, as just an avenue to make money. Understand why these guys are jumping in fast, Elon as well as Mark Cuban. Elon, financial, he made PayPal. Mark Cuban, audio, broadcast.com, that helped build the entire digital net. That's Netflix. Everything Netflix piggybacks off of all the patents he came up with. Okay, Netflix. Basically, that business destroyed Blockbuster. So I want you to understand that servers are destructive in business, for the better or the worse. And the next form of the server is completely destructive because it decouples businesses from being tied to expensive architecture. Remember, they want to sit there and talk about how expensive Bitcoin is, and this is their entire universe right now. How much energy takes to run all this crap? And how can we simplify the stack, reduce our energy expense, and piggyback off of all this old architecture and now create cheaper, more efficient energy ones? This all fits on a Raspberry Pi. That's 8 gigabytes of RAM right now. That's $40 and a worse machine on Amazon, as I showed you on the light sale page. So Node.js gives me the visual app designer, right? Which is this. This codes right to the server. I can make a video player, there's loading, there's connectors to APIs, right? There's task automation, so I can do some automation, drag and drop file uploads, so I can have customers or whomever upload stuff. There's charts, so I can start doing dashboards. Database connectivity, so if I need to connect to old world databases or databases that are on other systems, like other Raspberry Pis that are connected to things like graph databases, I can then get analytics and data and re-upload that back, do some type of process, give me some type of result, and I have proof of result or proof of work. Different type of proof of work, alternative proof of work, right? An alternative proof of work. Supports for MySQL, PostgreSQL, and others. API connectivity, you can do JSON, which is basically how the internet's running now anyway. Auth2 support means you can connect to things like Google and get single sign-on. User login and security management, right? So you be able to hash things and secure things. Again, login on the blockchain starts at the wallet. You get an authentication, I don't need a username, I don't need your email address. You have already put your hand into the system. All of this I still got to get a user. I still got to do SEO and all this. I got to get on social networks to promote this stack, right? To promote a website. To get users, I now got to do all this marketing work. If you sign into this, you already are a user. I can now do everything I do here with you, and I get all this data. This now goes all the way back here. It's here. Done. The database is already there. You are a user. You can either be part of the system earning, or you can be part of the data, or you can be another app on top of that data in the future. Who knows? That's what's coming. And that's the blessing of the next business cycle. And I call this a new business cycle. It's a new revolution in business. To say I can spin up servers for clients and give them cheaper hosting. I can be a hosting business if I wanted to, especially if somebody writes the code that makes it available and you get a percentage of giving people hosting. Because you're part of the business. I see that coming. That's hosting. Decentralized hosting businesses? Oh, I'm gonna be studying that next. Blockchain CMS. I'm gonna put that down. Notes, right? We gotta do that. That's for the tribe too. Hold on. Well, I said link in the description. On the notes, decentralized hosting. D or lower D, right? D hosting. Decentralized hosting, decentralized apps. D lower apps, comma D hosting. This is what we got to start looking into. Save that. It's what we got to start looking into. Because with this layer stack, not only can I build my own application, not only am I putting myself on a host, I can now do that for other people, especially if they make it easier and easier for that to happen. And you can make businesses off that. Isn't that how the first internet got started? Right? Decentralized domain names or domain routing. Right? Because this is what makes regular hosting work. Let's swap this out. Let's swap this around because this is not really in the order of how it happens, right? We have the domain. Wait, can we do DIP? Hold on. That might be a thing. Decentralized Internet Protocol, right? The IP that leads you to be able to get your domain or really your domain. You get your IP once you're on hosting and you have your domain routing. I'm putting what the business is on how this, pretty much how your apps currently work or your websites work. And that gives you a decentralized app. There we go. That's how it works. So in the regular world, you have to buy a domain name, you get on a web host, that host then routes your domain name to an IP that they will give to you and assign to you, and you can set your app location on that. Give me a second. I just want to make sure that my screen actually changes before I go any further. And I just want to wait until I see it. All right. Looks like I got him back in. Wait, I'm still giving it one more second so I can verify that I am caught up on where I'm at. Okay, good. I see it now. All right, so now what I'm looking at, right, next is now we're going to start to begin to grow off of what we know as an application. And now we look at what else. So we know we can build, we have API connectivity. We know decentralized APIs, right? So that also needs to go on there. because APIs are what make the internet work. So now I need D APIs. Slash oracles, right? For external, internal data. And that also leads me to having more for my dApps. So my dApps actually run it around this way. It really needs to be flipped. And this is like this, where your APIs, your oracles give you also portion of your dApp. That's really where it works. Domain name, hosting, routing to your IP. You connect to your data and your IP and all that stuff. Oh, we need storage, right? We still need oracles. That data needs to be stored, so you do need the storage. Because you got to store that data. And you also have to have a place for your dApp to sit on. Okay, so there we go. That is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out loud on the domain name, right? We may or may not need that. We can probably use the old world of that and hook through, so that probably can work. That'll then be the domain hosting or routing, the IP to make sure all these routings are working, or do we use regular IPs and can dynamically route it? That's going to be what we have to think of, and maybe the stack condenses, and maybe we don't need all that, right? And then there's decentralized storage, and then there's the dApps. Now, I have to figure out how this functionally works, or do we even need all of this? Maybe this whole stack is gone, but that's just where my notes are for today. So, with that, once I'm on a server, I can put an app. So this is now me being able to build out my app, right? And also here, some of the things that they have, because it's of Node.js, is the fact that you can do sockets and real-time data. They're talking about the fact that you can do cloud hosting. You know what I'm looking at, dynamic hosting on someplace else. So I want to see how that can potentially happen. They've just released 3.0, and there's a lot of new features that I got to go through. Docker is a way to install Node right now on servers, like on Amazon Web Services. So like the fact that there's Dockers, be able to use Dockers, being able to see if there's Dockers on decentralized Dockers. Hey, I mean, that's part of it, right? Like, is there some type of, we're going to go one stack up, but is there like, I just want to do something as far as for dev. Is there like a Docker, right? Is there like a decentralized like way of doing Docker and installing these things from one location? That would make this really easy. If you can just like really build your apps cross multiple avenues at one shot. You can visualize with the database manager. So you can build your databases. Bootstrap, so theming engines built in, calendar. So again, this no code development, right? This is what I'm looking at, what we've been talking about, where I say you build your low code, no code. Now, also, I want to build Raspberry Pis that work with a graph database, something like Neo4j. So again, another potential thing, is there a graph database? Right? Do we have a graph database? Ooh, wrong way. Not two D's. Graph database. Same with the double quote. Yep. So do we have that? Do we have a way to do that? So with Neo4j, this graph database is like this. You have a product, supplier, you have your orders, you have your category. Very light way, the customer who has an order, who bought a product, right? Very light way of dealing with data than building tables and everything else. And they have Cypher, graph, query language, right? I want you to keep this in mind, That's QL, query language. GraphQL, right? I will keep telling you that I have this idea. And this idea is using a visual way of programming, right? Typeform to a Google Sheet and a Slack or an email, right? And then I'm going to open this in YouTube, and I'm going to do something that I do sometimes now, and that is playback speed, put it like double time, right? So you can see visually he's filling out something to type form. Then once it happens, you've got this data. He wants it to fill to a Google Sheet. He wants to append it to that Google Sheet, just insert that data into it. And now when they fill out the form, it goes into the Google Sheet. So every time the type form is filled, it'll go in there. And now he's setting up the numerics and the JSON. JSON is important in all these back-end languages. So now in Google Sheets, if it needs to go to Slack, if there's a problem, then it's going to email severity, the problem, and it's going to send that information into Slack as JSON. And now he's putting in the key fields from nodes, all that data that came in from that information that's on the JSON. And then he's also making sure that an email gets emailed to somebody. User has a problem. Copies and pastes the same code and make sure that goes right into that email. Right? So that is what's coming. Literally a visual way of being able to do something. And if something is triggered, like if something's happening on another website, give me that data and then do something with it and let me know it happened. So let's say if I'm following, okay, a perfect example of this is if I needed to create some type of scraping bot to watch inventory of GPUs, right? Real world things. Like I need GPUs for potentially mining, and I need data on inventory so I can really not robotically scalp it, but know when inventory is high or low. So I can know what cycle we're in. Are more and more GPUs showing up? Like not just to buy GPUs, but that's great to be able to do that. I won't do a robot and scalp it. I'll just go over there as a regular person and buy it like a normal damn person. But at least now I've got the insights to know whether or not I have or GPUs. And what if I can offer that as a service? That if people want that data, here's a link to purchase the stream data. And you can get an RSS feed of the bot feeding you the data in 15-minute increments or shorter, depending on your options. Right? You want it for 99 cents, you get it in 15-minute or $1 and change, you get it in 15-minute increments. You want it more. You see how you now have to think your business differently. I can start pricing data, right? I can start coming up with ways to use data, and I just need a way to have users pay me in currency to get services. Right, exactly. What did I tell you about GraphQL? Didn't I say that it hooks into GraphQL? So if something happens and you see something in a GraphQL or you need to query it, da-da-da-da-da. And that's the Facebook query language, I believe, or one of those query languages that Facebook made up. And it handles graphs. GraphQL, right? New tab to the right. GraphQL. I told you graph databases are important. GraphQL, a query language for your API, developed by Facebook in 2012. as a way to handle the graph data they were doing. The new graph, they rolled out the Facebook graph. They needed a way to queries, mutate queries, schemas, and they have a way to massage data. I have to learn this as well, because that tool is at our disposal and it's free to build these new highways for data. N8N, NPM, that is Node, JS. You see where I'm going with? So I can put this on a server. Isn't this a robot? Yes. I can put a robot and have another display system on 2 different systems acting like 2 separate apps. Yep. But locked to one specific user. Yep. Can I spin up another app to do a whole nother thing, like with music? Like managing portfolio. Not managing it as far as revenue, but managing it knowing that your music is being distributed to all the social networks you want because you hooked it through your wallet, and then there's this secure logins that we can potentially come up with for you to log into all of your stuff, or give us API keys and we can use the robot to shoot data into your social profiles as a distributed manager. A media managing software. Could we build one on the blockchain? Yup. That's what I'm looking at. Because if I'm going visual with my programming, what does it matter? I just need to get the end result. Get data. I submit data. Once that goes in, store it in a private database, put it underneath my key, and let's keep it private until I release it to the public. And when I do, put it on chain. Just make it publicly visible. There's my apps. We have to start thinking and developing differently because the stack has collapsed. Brand new coding stack. And I said I'm going to keep this short, and I meant it. But I needed to get you to see that I'm going into development, and I found, I think, a visible way, and I've left you a trail of where I'm heading towards. QL, remember? Neo4j, graph, database. Okay. That system that can connect to GraphQL, potentially, yeah, okay. Wappler, connecting to APIs, GraphQL with the other robot, okay. Shorter stack. DAOs. Let's look at what's going on in the market. Look at our bots, and I'm going to close out the day because I've got homework to do. And you know exactly what it is because I just told you. Like I said, today's episode, we're talking about dapping it up. We're talking also about, let's check out what's going on. Dip in the energy and the total hash rate of Bitcoin has been decreasing. And I've been seeing signs of it back here on May 25th. I was already saying it, that I'm starting to see, not May 25th, excuse me, May 28th, just a few days ago. I said, I think I see a dip happening. And yeah, we did form that dip. So hash rate is going down. That might be a good near bar bad thing, right? We could be still seeing a shakeout of energy. We still do see energy increasing, but we do see it rolling to a flattening state. Our fear greed index is at 24, right? And let's start looking at where we are as far as the wallet addresses for Bitcoin have flattened out, right? So you can see on the screen, I do show you the on-chain analysis that shows that on the 1st, we did have a drop, but we've not dropped any further. So their sell-off and moving money didn't do anything. That's huge, right? That to me is very interesting. That we had a serious drop. Not serious, but we had a decent drop, but it didn't move the market. 1K wallets. have flatlined. That's good as far as they're not dropping. It seems to be a little bit of accumulation. The 100 Bitcoin wallets have gone up as well. The 10 Bitcoin wallets are increasing a little bit. So we're seeing stabilization in the market. So that dip from the whales that I was worried about a couple days ago, that they would look like they were signaling bear sign that they were going to try to push the market back down again. There wasn't enough backing news and enough fear on backing news to really move the market. So they were able to, what we can see is they can try to trigger, but there's not enough news, and it did absolutely nothing. And we see a stabilization of the market, really showing a good sign that we're going to, if we're looking at the charts when I go over there, that we're going to bounce below that 200, bounce above that 200 moving average, which is important to show us we're back on the bull run. I do see a dip in the 0.01 wallets again and the 0.1 wallets, but I also know that that money dipping could also be it moved to Ethereum or Cardano, right? We could be seeing movement of money, and why the dip didn't happen is because altcoin season, or moving your money into alts, because they're thinking that Bitcoin is like going boring, that they're not really thinking about that. They're on these other coins because all of the announcements coming this month and next month, right? These June, July calendar significant moves. Let me go over here. I'm on not CoinGecko, excuse me. I am going over to coinmarketcal.com, and I'm going over to sort by. I'm sorting it by the most significant. That's what's going on in this industry right now. And what I've sorted out is looking at what's happening right now that's significant. We do have the 1159 hard fork getting ready to the latest edition that's going to happen, the EIP 1159 on Ethereum. We got more Ethereum updates. Bitcoin has a November update. Again, the Polkadot. June. Let's just look at dates. That's really all that matters. July, June, early June, right? So we still got one coming up for this. June 16th, June 23rd for Ethereum. Both of those were. VeChain, June. Doge, June. I'm going to have to start watching them. The Coinbase listing already happened today. It's already there, right? So that's already propped that up. Cardano, September. Smart contract launch. That's going to be big. Theta, that's video, June 30th. That's end of month. So again, June bouncing up. Pancake, June 30th. Again, that's end of month. June 30th for SafeMoon. I don't really like SafeMoon, but hey, whatever. Neo in June, right? September. June 30th for that as well. So I'm just seeing that. I'm looking at what is this news cycle going to look like and how much stuff do we got. BitTorrent's doing something in June, next week, actually. I'm holding a lot of bags in that, so let's go. Not a lot like big numbers. Just it was so cheap when I got it that I actually should stack up one more time just because it's so damn cheap, and see if they're going to do some burns later. And I'm just going to hold on for a few years and see if that, because BitTorrent is a physical application. Pirate Bay is a BitTorrent site. Sites have been sitting on BitTorrent for years. So I'm watching this because like that right there, as the new blockchains are able to be adapted into this old architecture and it can kind of cross-chain itself with it, done, man. There's going to be some crazy stuff that I can see that can potentially pull off with BitTorrent. Really amazing infrastructure stuff, live streaming and everything. So it's interesting if they pull it off, if they actually go that route. Qtum, September. Cosmos in June 30th. So again, end of June. Testnet, Tencent is also, so a lot of Junes. August, June. So we know this month is big. And really the market's showing that. Well, really the market's kind of in and out. I think we're not really giving two damns about Bitcoin at this point. It's going sideways, it's going boring. I did pull some news, so I want to get into that so I can get into the chart a little bit and just kind of verify some thoughts. Where we left off, crypto assets, regulators. Okay, yes, here we go. Shopify for NFTs launches on Solana. Data play, application plays, NFT plays. I want to see how much we're talking about and whether or not where do I want to build? Who's going to give me what I need, and are the other guys looking at them, and who's really kind of interested? ECB, European Central Bank, warns of risks to stability if central banks don't offer digital currencies. So the European Union, the European Central Bank, is already saying, hey, if we don't go digital currency, we're going to be kind of left out this market. Yeah, you're kind of already kind of are. If you're not in already. Because can't I earn interest without you? Just saying. There's reasons I keep these screens up. Because I don't want to have to look to just keep reminding people that Coinbase, you're getting percentages you don't see in your bank. And at one given point in time, there were things called CDs that our parents had. And these CDs used to be 10%. And that's how they started making some of their money, in these CDs. Well, now you see, we don't get 10%, but this is our version of it for our generation right now. And these percentage rates, believe me, ain't gonna be like this forever. And if you're not coming up with new and other alternative business models, you're just gonna be relying on interest rate. Why just earn interest? Why not earn business? Let's look at what Leo, our resident Feedly AI that feeds off of our news that we feed here to Flipboard. Let's see what Leo has found, right? Gamers can now more easily cash out Bitcoin winnings from playing Counter-Strike. Oh, big business play. Nice. Very nice. I am going to save that to Levita blockchain. Let's go. That's big. Big. That's like big. Right? Fidelity executive issues Bitcoin correction warning. Here's how low BTC could drop. Y'all, we know we already talked about it. And he can talk all that stuff. We're just going to wait and see. Y'all don't know. Y'all ain't even been in this cycle a year yet. You ain't even been in a Bitcoin year. Shut up, you big dummy. You don't know nothing. I'm not even going to star that. Paxful Pay is an invisible bridge to Bitcoin, says co-founder. I'm marking that. I want to see what that's about. Top analyst predicts Cardano rally imminent and breakout against Bitcoin. Y'all know. It's important. Day mark to launch crypto mining vehicle by 2023. I'm going to star this, but not for them. You know why I'm starring this. I'm starring this for Elon Musk. I'm starring this for potential Doge play he's going to try to play. Him and Mark Cuban. Remember, Mark Cuban's taking Doge for the Mavericks. I'm watching this play. And they're getting into cross chains. And they're talking about energy efficiency. Yeah. These 5 altcoins will likely see big gains in June. I don't know. That's speculation. Don't care. But, you know, Binance Smart, you can look at that one if you see it. I'm not going to mark it. How to convert crypto to fiat safely, legally, and easily. That's really easy. It's called Coinbase. Stop being cute and clamorous. Coinbase bump alert. Top crypto exchange gearing up to list Dogecoin. Yeah, we know it. We already hit it. Doge has memed its way to Coinbase. Yeah, we know it. Again, that's you getting ready. Because if you already have it, y'all are probably smiling. And y'all, I mean, what can I say? I don't know, Jack. I've missed so much shit. And I can tell you, I can be honest and tell you when I'm wrong. I can be a man about it. I didn't get it. At least I'm getting it kind of early. So I might have to double down at a higher price point that I really wanted to. and just go ahead and accumulate in, since it's on Coinbase. Just accumulate in. I am. I'm not saying for you to. I'm not telling you to do that either. No, not financial advice, because I have to look at my portfolio and I have to look at the long-term play. Personally, am I getting into business with Elon Musk in some form of respect? Unfortunately, and fortunately, maybe. Why? I need energy cells. I need storage. He has both. He has robots that print it kind of cheap. He's going to scale that up so that it keeps growing. He also has robotics, and I'm pretty sure he's going to start selling robotics because the man sold flamethrowers. He sells whatever he makes or he's interested in. GPT, which is AI, he touched it. It blew up. It's now licensing under Microsoft. I'm sure he's making guap in some form of respect there. So we have to see that this is a potential play when his cars are plugged in and Doge, all you need is another single board computer in there, right? In your car. I just need to throw a Raspberry Pi or something similar in your car. I already make circuitry and boards, right? So I could just make something and put it in your damn car and tell you your car now mines Doge in an efficient way that generates damn good money. Do you now want a car and you want a solar cell and you want you get it? I'm annoyed. You can hear it in my voice because I'm pissed off that I see the play and I'm like, damn, I could have got cheaper. But it's fine. It's not $10. I got in early. Some of y'all got in earlier than me. Big ups to Rand. Nope. Some of y'all got in earlier than me. I got to call it, man. I got to sit there and say, holy shite, I missed this one. But I was not thinking it like that because I was still on the mind state, and I got to call my weaknesses. I was still under the mind state of me kind of building an application the old way. Not thinking about blockchain as apps, blockchain as business, blockchain as the business of apps, just like the business of apps has been the business of apps for years, right? I just stopped thinking about that. We're just going to now have in-world games that are actually fully functional. Like, imagine going to Grand Theft Auto and that store that you go buy clothes in is a real functioning store with real clothes that get manufactured by teams of people in real time that are sold all over the world, and they're making money. But that's how games are going to make it now. It makes sense, right? Like, gaming's not going to be centralized. They're not going to be these awful freaking games where we're pissed off because the gaming is not really controlled by us. If you think about it, don't we see gaming coming to us as a business? I'm not even looking at this as no speculation thing, right? What is one of the products that this, right, wallet? What did I tell you a wallet brings you immediately? A wallet brings you all this. And now you sit this on top of it. That's this whole effing business model. Games. I build my games. I sit it on a server. That server's decentralized, potentially, right? My game is made by the engine I showed you, Unreal. I do all my animations the way I showed you. I now begin to get my in-world games, or wait for somebody to pivot their game over to a decentralized model where we're helping to render the back end of the gaming system. That's coming, bros, broettes, broits, brohairs, brohems, brohees, brohas. Decentralized business, period, is coming. And just think on that regard. However we feel about it, don't matter if it's functionally feasible to spin up an application and say, can I make money if my server only costs me $10, $20 a month? But I can get 1,000 people potentially on there for $10, maybe $20. Let's say $20 for 1,000 people on server. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, what if that's a thing? Can I give you a low priced app and say, hey, $199 and live without Apple? Yup. Without Google? Yup. Do I need search engine SEO optimization? Nope. I can just work in a Discord talking to my fam and friends and talk in the 3 a.m. room and then just do what I do, and whoever rides, rides, and who don't. It's cool. I gotta build a business, man. And I can't do it by my damn self. But businesses don't ever want to talk about how to deal scale first. They always want to just jam business down and then wonder why they can't scale. Yes, I get crypto, gamify, customer experience. Gamify customer experience. Right? Software. I'm waiting for my damn thing to catch up. There we go. Just waiting for my stream to catch up. What I did, if it didn't catch it, is I clicked on the software tab underneath the engine, gamifying your customer experience. Achievements, collectibles, awards, points, discounts. Again, I told you, when you get a wallet, you get all this. You get a server, a machine, a database, a user, a wallet, the e-com. But it's all encapsulated and it has to be validated, so it has built in all the things that you need for a database to validate that what was submitted to the system was submitted. Did an edit happen? Did a sale happen? Did a transaction happen? That's all there. That's all the internet is. But now we're talking about getting it cheaper as a business. And as this, where I build apps, software, happens to have, crypto to build my financial community with exchanges and tokens and websites to get loyally engaged visitors, mint your own stuff, I can now work better with games and interact with their world by sending data into their world via the hook into APIs via, which I am looking for, an automated way, which I also need to put on this page, which I put it on another one, but I'll put it here, n8n.io, I'll put here. Product, go to your apps and nodes, and under apps and nodes, I show you all the things that this thing connects to that you build visually, and I can store it in Google Sheets, or I can make Google Tasks. I can begin to automate things and processes, and there's that GraphQL to hook into other data structures later. If means I have conditionals, conditional programming, right? I can store it in my Office suites if I needed to. Work with your Microsoft team. See all these things PayPal. I mean, even trying to figure out how to do some of those things, connect into a straight database, right? So I'm going to be digging deeper into here, and I'm going to begin to develop on Pis, Raspberry Pis. I don't want to say on chain because I'm not going to go there yet. But develop on Raspberry Pis, being able to come up with how do I develop a application that I log into and kind of work. And all my data and my chain that I start building is my data chain. And I'm mining my own data. So I want to figure out what data structure I'm going to begin to mine my own data with. And how do I make business decisions off that data? And mining my data could be my audio data, my stream data for how my stuff is on Spotify, right? Because, I mean, look, doesn't it connect to Spotify? You kind of see what I'm getting at, right? I go to Spotify. What else? What can I do on Spotify? I can get, right? I can get new releases of stuff. I can get tracks. So I can get an album. So if I have an album, I can get artist work. So look, album, artists, libraries, being able to set up libraries, playlists, right? Working with your playlists. I want to set up, I have actually Toxic Hustle. One of the things we're going to be growing out, and I'm telling y'all. Come on now, I don't hide nothing from y'all. Let's go to Actually, no, hold on. I got an easier way for you to see it. Underneath me, if you let me see my profile here. If you go here in Discord and you click on View My Profile, you'll see that I have a link that says Toxic Hustle Playlist. You can just click on that. And here, I am beginning to build out. These are just the public ones that I have, but I'm logged in, so you can actually see. I have playlists that haven't even been released yet. Volume 4, Volume 3. And then I want to manage some of these playlists and be able to interject, like in the future, be able to start monitoring them and sending new songs into playlists. Kind of like back in the day, y'all remember the Source magazine, right? Used to have like the hip hop playlists, and you would find like dope songs getting that monthly playlist. Well, I want to be able to curate tribe stuff that's been put out and is getting streams. Especially if we're able, and this is why I say CD Baby. I know y'all got the other thing where you can upload unlimited stuff, but ask yourself a question. How much is your YouTube stream per song? Do you have to pay for YouTube streams? If you're not getting YouTube streams for free and you got to pay for that, then pay for that every year. How much is that going to cost you in 10 years? Now, in CD Baby, I pay one time to upload my stuff and I get all the other streaming for free. They take their percentages. Let's keep moving. I don't got time for all that. These cute games y'all trying to play with my music. I'm trying to build my catalog long term. And in the future, can I find a blockchain to be my CD Baby and be done with it? So I can really control my catalog. Love you, CD Baby, but this is business, not personal. Can I control my masters, my intellectual property? Because as I start, I'm not going to be taking samples from Splice, and no, that's overcrowded. I use Splice now just to kind of like see patterns that I might not be privy to doing, and then recycling patterns sometimes. But even now, I'm still paying for Splice, and I don't even use the damn thing. I'm just like collecting it for like midis and just buying up midis whenever I see like there's a bunch of midis that might be cool. And I can repurpose those midis for other things and other sounds, and like not even try to resell it. Like just rebuilding new instrumentations that get repurposed into different things. Like, again, guys, I'm not even thinking about making music for artists anymore. Literally, I'm not even remotely thinking like that. I'm thinking, hey, is there a club that might be streaming my music, we call it lo-fi, but instrumental type music, my beats? Is there a way for my beats to be streamed at some virtual location in the future? And can I get paid for that? Can an MP3 earn me money in world? Is that not the whole game of making money in music? Are you earning with your money, yay or nay? And the best thing is, if I do that, instead of it being fiat, like how it is where I make money with Spotify, it's fiat. I get paid out in fiat with my music. Rather than getting paid out in fiat, I get paid out in crypto that might appreciate in value as the rest of the market keeps appreciating because it's still new. So I have an asset that is increasing in value based off the technology that it's based on. I just got to pick the right one. Who's going to be number one, number two in the data play? I did this before, guys. My last, I'm gonna shoot my shot. Here's my shots, back to back to back, and only the people in my life will remember I did these shots. When I got back from the military, 1990 something the other, I got to develop. I built computers, right? Started getting on AOL, got on the internet. My family on Christmas, my uncles uncle was asking me, what the hell am I doing on a computer? Your mom talks about all you do is play around with a computer. And I said, well, computers are about to take over the industry. Well, you need to make money. Well, how much money would be comfortable for y'all for me to be making? Well, $50,000 is what a man's salary is. Okay. Well, 2 years later, I made 45,000. I told my uncle, okay, I got 45,000. I'll be able to get the 50 in a little bit longer. That's my swag with it. Nobody believed what I was getting into. It didn't matter. I'd already seen Microsoft at $5 a share, and my staff sergeant told me to buy it, and I didn't because I was too busy being a man whore. Nobody gets me because they ain't lived like me. They ain't lived seeing an entire revolution happen because we built hardware in our houses called computers. And I'm seeing hardware being built again, smaller, 8 gigabytes right now, Raspberry Pi. I can hook it up to terabytes of freaking hard drive, and as soon as they get this hard drive thing taken care of, and we can build servers and store our stuff and run applications, and they run for years and the server not break, let's get it. And you can scale to 1,000 people. That's my number. Scalability. Your business in the future needs to be at least at 1,000. Not on 10. We can't do on 10 no more. You can't even do on one. You got to be on 1,000. Now I can't be on 100. You can't even be 100 no more. You got to be 1,000. Why? You need 1,000 people to generate a decent income. Why? If I just tell you I want to give you something at $2.99, that's about $3. If I have 1,000 people that do that, that's $3,000. How much does it take me to live in a month? How much is my bills? If I'm expanding my business and I have business expenses in other places, how much is the rent for those places? How do I expand my business? How do I grow past the fact that I keep having to sink money into damn systems that are cheaper if I buy them at $75 and stick them on a blockchain? I can't get past that crap. I can build what I can build for my girl. I can build what I can build for me. But I'm losing heart on that shit. On building it that way. Like, I'm losing heart fast. Like, yo, this is straight disrespect. That you are pillaging $40 out of my pockets for an 8 gigabyte system. That's utterly redundant of me as a developer. Like, I'm just like, oh man, am I that dumb? But it's taking this cycle for me to see it. Okay, and I'm watching you know who else is doing this? Just so that you can see that this idea, I'm not even going to take the credit for this. Ivan on Tech has something called Academy. He actually teaches blockchain and teaches programming. But then they just came up with this new thing. Let me go in my email because I have it there and I don't want to jump all over the damn place. I just need to get the name of it. Yes, there it is. And I just need to copy this. Copy, because I'm a part of the beta for this now. And instead of Ivan on Tech, I can just actually keep Ivan on Tech, but Morealis. Founder and Chairman Morealis. Damn, they're not going to show me. No problem. Let me click on this. Oh, that's the Discord. I already did that. Damn. Don't forget our YouTube channel. All right, let me do that. And that should... There we go. And I'm going to drag that over. Give me a second. I'm going to drag it over to the screen for those of you that can see it. This is Montrealis. I'm going to drag it in context of right before Spotify and all this other stuff. Actually, I can get rid of Spotify. Because you get the point that you can do things with data. Right? So, oh, damn it, my dog is puking. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Yo, hold on one second, y'all. Let me handle my dog and take care of my dog real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me take care of my dog. Come on, Bubba. Let me put this on pause. Wait, damn it. Where's my... I really need to get this thing set up right. Put this on this screen. And do... All right. Check, check. I'll be right with you in 1 second, y'all. Just give me one more second. Just need to clean up this puke. I have to take care of my doggy. All right. Sorry about that. Got to take care of the boy. You all right, man? You gonna be all right, man. You lay down and chill out, all right? All right. So they had to take care of them. Might as well take them out while I was there. All right. So let me make sure that we are running again. I am. And I see myself, and I see the audio. And yeah. Am I back? There we go. And I'm back. All right. So, as you can see, he has something called Moralis Web3 coding videos, basically connecting to a Polygon node. So, like, there's a lot of things that I'm going to start watching on his channel to try to understand, like MetaMask authentication. There's like we talked about, right? These are the things that I've been kind of seeing. Web 3.0 Gold Rush. So, like, he's pivoting over because he understands how this business is changing and how you're going to need to start looking at other places to put your applications on, right? So your dApps, your decentralized apps. So I'm going to be learning a lot from this guy, trying to get myself in there, at least understanding it. But you know, and I know, I am doing a more visual way through N8NIO that I don't have here right now to get my applications running so that I can grab data. Here it is. So I can grab data in a more visual way and use it in an application sense, not just being able to work on chain, but also how am I working off chain in other places to become an oracle. Right? To grab data, utilize data. What data am I storing? How am I using it? Big query. Again, how do I store data? And can I store it elsewhere for cheap? And that's the big thing for me. Can I store my data for cheap? And I can eliminate a lot of this stuff here and just really focus on my base business. That's my big thing right now. How do I build a business that runs and I can still earn and or pivot to other business areas without the heaviness of WordPress, right? So we're going to go into the numbers and then I'm going to shut this down and get cranking because this wasn't really supposed to be this long. And I kept saying, I'm going to be slower. It's going to be faster. It's going to be faster. But now that I'm developing something and that's where I'm heading to, I won't really have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to be cutting this down, all these talks down to just really the news, right? It'll be just my thoughts on what's going on in the business. You'll already kind of know what I'm dealing with. So let's just go ahead and get into the rest of this. I told you where I'm heading with the dApps. Web 3.0, like I said, how to invest in the next revolution is building in yourself. You invest in you. That's how you invest in the next revolution. Start thinking of your businesses and where's the data for your businesses. Let's just finish off our news. Ask Bitcoin bills, 2 different, I don't know what that is, don't care. Millions of laundered through crypto money. Get out of here. This whole thing is falling through the cracks. It's transparent. There's going to be so much data mining and data watching and being able to, like using a graph database to be able to follow the money is nothing. That's how they're able to break a whole bunch of things on news with Neo4j. They use Neo4j and they'll go through the blockchain and they'll find out where all that money. They're arresting people now. Don't even trip. Google adjusts crypto ad policy. I'll have to see what that means because that might mean something. So I'm gonna save that just because I want to see what they're going to talk about. That involves YouTube. All right, so I'll need to see that for my business. Clarifies ad rules for exchanges and wallets. So again, I will save that. That's important to your business, and I'll mark these 2 as read. Even though I haven't read them yet, I am going to read these. I want to refresh, though, and just mark all as read. New fund from asset management giant Guggenheim Investments may offer exposure to Bitcoin and crypto assets. A fund getting into Bitcoin and giving access to that to the underlying high-end investors that they manage portfolios for, being a ting-ting? Right. We already knew this, but I will go ahead and add it because it's important for us to know that these things are happening. And I think that's the end of my news. Yep, we're going to single board computer after that. Raspberry drones. So again, hardware, right? So definitely looking into that. We've gone through our news. Let's look at the charts real fast because I really didn't go through that. We're still on the day, on the 3-day. I'm going to go on the day. On the day, we are closing in. Seemingly we're closing into our on our averages. We're pulling in on the day. We've actually on the MACD gone into positive territory, which is always a good sign. On the Willie, we've gone into positive territory. That's definitely a good sign. So we're seeing some strength on the day. We'll know if we go any further out, we're going to still see weakness. But we're seeing that change, right? We're seeing the change as it goes in. We're seeing that these things are converging. We're looking like, if I zoom down a bit so we can actually see this, not on the 2-day, but let's go to 3-day. And let's zoom it in a little bit and scroll down and zoom that in a little bit. We can see where we are in the cycle, a bounce there. And if we go further down, we had bounces before our run up in the summer, right around June, July, we have a dip. May, the end of May, around May 25th, we have a dip right around there, 25th. See, we did it this year. This is from 2017. Then in June, the first week of June-ish, we may see a dip. So this week or next week, we may see dips, right? We have dips in June, July, the first, second week of June. And then we see July, there's a little bit of a dip. Then right after the last week of July, around the 18th, 19th week, in the weeks of the July, right around the end of July, 30th, look at that, all the things we said, around the 30th, we have this huge explosion pump, stalls out again, then huge explosion pump that goes from September, dips a little in October, shoots up October, dips a little in November, shoots up through November, all the way to December, and then starts to fall in the end of the year, for the end of that cycle. If it follows pattern, we'll see the same thing happen again. If it follows pattern, we will see the same thing happen again, and we're beginning to see that bump and formation for that to happen. If I go down into the 12-hour chart, let me go back to the 1-day chart because I want you all to also see on the 1-day chart that we are getting closer to coming back up to getting above that 200 moving average. Right now, that's bear sign that we're under here, but it's easy for us to bounce back out because we've been under before in the past and come back above it. So once we get back above it, prepare for a bull run. That's what I'm waiting on. So now I'm looking at accumulation, and we've already seen the news from people that have been in the space a little bit longer, and like Robert Kiyosaki's been in for a cycle. So he's actually been into the cycle already. So we're going to be looking at that next bump. That's why he said he's accumulating. He knows this is an accumulation phase. All in this zone. This whole zone is accumulation. And do I think we can break down to that 20 now? I don't know. Not with this much time left before the end of this month, getting ready to blow out to having all this news, and Cardano launching its testnet. And like, again, that plays like the Ethereum play in the last cycle. Ethereum's news brought Bitcoin up, right? Ethereum has its own news, true, but Cardano, being like Ethereum, has its own news, pulling it up. So that's important. That's important to the space, and it's important for us to get above this line. So at the 12-hour charts, I can see we've got positive signal, right? Right here, positive above the line. We're starting to get some separation. So I'm on the Willie. So I'm good. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling good about where the charts are telling us where they're at. CoinGecko are down as far as we're actually increasing on the day. It was 1.7 down. Bitcoin was 1.7% down on the day, on the 7 day. Bitcoin is now only 1.1 down on the 7 day. We're actually up on the 1 hour, and on the 24 hours, we've been up 3% for the last day. So not bad, right? We're looking at pretty much decent, a green, very, very green day. News shows it. The charts are showing we're green. And what are we doing? We're going into businesses. Speaking of which, it's time for me to get into mine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing my programming and start getting these websites up that I need to get up, because I got a good thing to do now. I know exactly how to speed through this and where it's heading towards. So all of y'all, be safe out here. I will be making these shorter. I promise they will be getting shorter. This one kind of took me by. I didn't expect to see the whole Elon Musk play for Doge. That was new. And that kind of messed up where I was heading with this talk, though it still got there. The fact that I'm looking at Node.js, I'm looking at servers, who's going to be the AWS to host my files so I can build applications and earn a cryptocurrency on whatever and use a token to be able to do that. And maybe my token is a business token, right? A hustle token, something like that. But I want it to be based off of business. I don't want it to be based off of hope and hopium and pumping. And like, I'm not building an NFT, I'm building a business. And if I can build a business off of, if you can build a business off a gift, like selling an NFT for like millions of dollars, and I'm not doing that crap. But if you can sell a GIF, an animated file or GIF, right? Graphics, because it's a graphic, whatever, interoperable file, whatever it is. So it actually is a graphic GIF, not GIF, a GIF, right? So it's a GIF, graphic GIF, right? So if I have a GIF and the GIF is animated, or MP4, right? We can attach an MP4 and a video to it and then have it be a video file. So if I can take a video file and turn a video file into a sellable asset, which, right, don't we do that already? Don't we sell video files? And like intros, video files aren't like the treatments we do for like subscribe now, like YouTube, those little files that we download, aren't those all like video files? Right? We're buying them now, which is, imagine now you're buying them, but not for those purposes, but you're buying them for functional purposes for your business. Everybody that now uses blockchain as a business leverage, just like every business that did it for PCs. When PCs became your business edge, like who didn't have a PC and who had spreadsheets and all that other stuff in their business, who won, who lost? Who was more organized and able to take advantage of the data? Like, we were going into data then, we just didn't know it. And then that data kept spilling and spilling, and then we need to get more and more machines, and we put it in the cloud because it was easier. Cloud just means that a centralized big-ass server is giving us lower prices on it. A server is a cloud. It's just a fancy name for that. And blockchain is another fancy name for the same damn thing, a server. Blockchain is just another damn server doing another damn thing. It's just like cloud was a server, blockchain is a damn server. Cryptocurrency is just a financial instrument on top of a server and a database. That's it. That's what Bitcoin means. Bitcoin means you have an encapsulated machine that's a self-replicating database, and you can now, in the future, potentially do something like with all these machines, like build businesses on top of all this architecture. That's the promise. That is the promise of Bitcoin, that you can build on top of these machines in the future, because Ethereum did it. So now Bitcoin make it so. But while all these people are now too top heavy, because that's not what it wasn't built for that. But now that we realize what we can do and what we should do with these machines, not to just do this simple thing, well, now the companies that know that and are generation one with that don't have the headaches of trying to pivot into scalability. Ethereum is proof positive. Bitcoin is proof positive. What happens when your business goes one way but needs to be another way, because data is more important than just having a server that has dumb data. Now we have to build smart, data-driven apps. You go back to Facebook. Facebook is a data-driven app. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube are data-driven apps. Do you not go there and get data? Well, the original one of that was called Google. It scraped the web illegally, stored all that damn data, and then gave ranking, a PR rank, page rank, to whomever had the most links at the time. And that's how they got their investment money from like their professor and somebody else. That's how we got here. Hackers. Pirates of Silicon Valley. Link in the Discord. Scroll up, you'll find it. So we stop being dumb with data. We stop being dumb with applications. We think about our applications having data. And we grow. My name is J Tragic Jeffrey. This is for Toxic Hustle, CryptoPlunder, Toxic Thoughts. Thank you for spending some time with me, man, while I think things out and kind of make my business decisions. And hopefully we all ride together and be able to make them together as well and can grow our own individual businesses. And soon, who knows, be able to generate these decentralized autonomous organizations that also give us, community-based apps and community-driven businesses in the future, right? Taking our music, making our money with it, creating these assets with it, and then if the real world wants to get in our pockets, okay, well, give us some revenue and it's 5 times earnings. Shark Tank it. Done deal. Y'all be safe. I'm a